Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH. This is the Ramsey Show After Show. Watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney. And if you are not familiar with me, I am Coach Steve Money, and I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And for my financial content, you just scroll down past the Oak Island playlist. Sorry, I was distracted. The new recap for last night's episode is probably my most views in the shortest time ever. So we'll see how that does the rest of the day and tomorrow. Very nice. And the Ramsey Show After Show. Yes, I did remember to take Dave's name off of it. I had that in parentheses. I had Dave on there forever, since they changed the name of the show and had never taken that off of there. I guess people would know who it is now. And the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist as well. So both of those playlists, I would say probably, 800 hours at least of me talking about financial stuff and singing and talking about a little bit about other stuff as well. Answering Your Financial Questions is just questions. I don't do any of the market report or any singing, except if one of the questions has some similar line to a lyric. I will do that a song for a bit, but I don't do like entire songs. Speaking of entire songs, the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Check those out if you are so inclined. And a new one, at least one new one, will be coming on the 500th episode. And where did I say we are now? We are at 493, so that would be 7 weekdays away. So a week from Friday. And of course, we know we got to get down on Friday. Market report. And that's not the right thing. Where did it go? Oh, I see what happened. Okay. Let me put that where it's supposed to go. Sorry. I am screwing everything up here. Okay. There we go. Now it's in the right spot. Market up today. Wonderful. Dow closes nearly 500 points higher. So I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, people, overreaction yesterday to the tariffs. Dumb. But, that's the way it happens. I mean, you don't judge the market by a day or even a week or even a month or even 6 months or even 1 year. It's a long-term thing. We're not day trading in the Ramsey community. So let's see. So everything up here, let's see what the rest of the planet is like. Everything up in Europe except FTSE. Asia, everything up. Let's see, what about that US dollar? Down to the euro, down to the yen, down to the British pound low, down to the Canadian dollar, and down to the Australian dollar-mite. And it often happens when the market is up, as it is, then often the dollar is down to all those other currencies. Let's see what else we got to talk about here. Again, Marvel Technology. Oh, let's see. Let's just take a quick look. Marvel. Looks like they did not have a good report. Beat estimates, but stock goes anyway. What? Oh, growth forecast trails loftiest estimates. Okay. So they beat the estimates for the quarter 4 of 2024, and but for what they're going to say they're going to make this year or this next quarter, probably it is like whatever they're saying it is, it doesn't match what the people that thought the most that people thought, the loftiest, that's the highest estimates. And so again, that's dumb too, but traders going to trade. And you often see this here, this when on the earnings report, you see, oh, like if it's something that they interpret as bad, in which this they interpreted was bad, and so a bunch gets sold right away. Again, probably computers programmed to sell at whatever level, and under certain conditions. Who knows? And then right back up and then right back down again. So it's kind of nutty. But that does happen sometimes. We saw that previously. But yeah, 15, almost 16% down is not fun for Marvel technology. I mean, I guess that's what happened when you don't have Tony Stark anymore, right? That's a different Marvel. Anything else? I don't. Oh yeah, let's see. The only most followed single stock on the Google, this list of 6, is the Apple, and that's just barely down at 0.08%. All the rest of them are up, led by what? The Microsoft, 3.19. So good for them, and so that will help you out in your managed large cap fund. Futures up as well, all over 1%. So fun times. Did that. Alrighty, so this from CNBC real estate section. Weekly mortgage demand surges 20% higher after interest rates drop to the lowest since last year. Well, that's good news. Average contract interest rate for 30-year fixed rate mortgages. That part's not good news. Should not get 30 years ever. With conforming loan balances, 806,500 or less, decreased to 6.73% from 6.88%. Total mortgage applications volume jumped 20.4% last week compared with the previous week. And this was not only the first increase in 3 weeks, but it is an outsized weekly move. Okay, very good. I'm gonna look to this too. You remember the economic blackout on Friday where you weren't supposed to buy anything, and definitely not from the Amazon and the Walmart and the Target and stuff like that. It says from Newsweek, a planned one-day economic blackout on February 28th aimed at protesting corporate practices and policy decisions did not appear to significantly impact overall consumer spending. Of course it didn't, according to early data. While many customers pledged not to make purchases for 24 hours, Amazon sales remained slightly above average. So it was above average on that day. So nice try, but wrong. Let's answer some questions. Again, we're on reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. And I did check, I forgot to say yesterday, but I did check because I'm starting to write more stuff down now, and so I can remember. So there is no debt leverage subreddit, but when I typed in debt leverage as a search, it brought up some just like some questions or comments in the personal finance one. And if I get bored one day, maybe we'll take a look at personal finance and see what's going on in there. Keeping track of the credit score. I don't remember that coming up today, so I will have to notate that doesn't come up because I said I think it comes up in just about every show, and I'll do a not column. of that. March 5th. Okay. Just can keep track of it, but because I think it comes up in just about every show, but I don't recall hearing it today. Oh, what else? Was there something else too that I was gonna do? No, I think that's it. Those two things. The credit score being mentioned in the shows, and also the see if there's a debt leverage subreddit. Alrighty, this from a Bug Eater 1988. That was a good year. Because I was younger than I am now. Moving and need some opinions. Really don't post to Reddit all the much. Okay. People are nutty, man, with all the I mean, it could be a typo, but still, this easily could be something that this person says, all the much. Just like people now, they say all the sudden, and it's all of a sudden is what it is. I read this one before, though. They do change spots sometimes. Slash 3040, what are some items you look for in your monthly budget? I don't mean normal expenses or groceries. I mean stuff like birthday presents, school pictures, vet visits, stuff that is sporadically spread across the year and wouldn't normally make sense to have a line item just for this thing. I have line items just for the things because I don't have that many things that come up extra like that. And so, I mean, I guess if you want, you can make a miscellaneous and have it be $30 or something, $20, $30. And that might help you in there. Otherwise, just put it all in there. Like, I mean, you can even just under the miscellaneous, you can, if you know you have multiple things for the next month, maybe you don't do all of them if you're on early baby steps. But if you're not on early baby steps and you want to do all of them, like say if that happened all at the same time, you got 2 birthdays, you got school pictures and vet visits, you would put all of that in the budget, and that can be under miscellaneous if you didn't want to break out each one. It's not that much trouble though to add each one, at least not on a spreadsheet anyway. As far as in every dollar, I don't know. I don't remember how much trouble it was to add another item. So, but as far as your budget, you need to do whatever you can do to make sure you stick to the budget. Beginning law 3704, adjusting the BS. Well, it does need to be adjusted, doesn't it? Now, adjusting the baby steps, and those do not need to be adjusted. So let's see. What would Dave do, Flair? He would not adjust the baby steps. Okay. This person picked. What would Dave do? Dave would not adjust the baby steps. So let's see what's going on. Well, I'm currently... Why would you start the sentence with well? Well, I'm currently in baby step 2, going at my debts. Okay. But I'm just wondering, I'm in Ireland. Bad Irish accent. And I still live at home. He means with mommy and daddy. I don't know how you would do that in Irish. Collage. I'll give him a break from Ireland. For the most part is free here, so I won't have to save too much for my son to go. But I've savings for him weekly otherwise for baby step 5 and 6. How should I adjust it? Thank you. Okay, so you should adjust it to the way that you are doing it, and you should do it correctly. And you do not do all of the baby steps at the same time. Hey, guess what? If you're on step 1, or if you're on step 2, or if you're on step 3, you don't do any other steps at the same time. It's this one, and then done with this one. $1,000 starter emergency fund. And then it's step 2. None of this other stuff is happening. No investing, no saving for kids, for stuff. I mean, unless it's like something that they need right now. then you can do a sinking fund for that, of course, and then no extra to the mortgage as well. There's also no saving a down payment and buying a house until you are done with step 3, the full emergency fund. So how about you adjust what you're doing and adjust the baby steps so that you are doing it correctly? And that is exactly what Dave would do. You're welcome. Oh, look, we got new posts since I found the right one. I did that early today, and it didn't disappear. I've set it to the right question before, and it reloaded or something like that, and it was all the way back up at the top again. But today it didn't do it. So, and now it's telling me we got new posts. We will not get to those new posts today. Okay underscore quote 6462, need advice moving out versus paying off debt. I think I read that one too. 25 years old, married, and have 3 kids under 6 years old. I earn $52,000, 43.2 net per year. Work full time. My wife stays home with the kids. We currently live with my wife's parents in Los Angeles. You're in the wrong state to not be making that much money. So you see, in Los Angeles, yeah, I get why you're living with wife's parent. You might be able to get a shed. You might be able to get a parking space for $50,000. Crazy. Paying $700 per month to rent a room. Yeah, we're following baby steps and currently on baby step 2. Our total debt is $20,238.14. About $5K in student loans, and the rest is a car loan on a vehicle valued at $10,000. Sell the car. We have $1,000 in saving. My wife and I are also in college full time, heading into our 3rd year next semester. Our plan to finish school and pay off our debt before moving out. Hopefully you are not continuing to take out debt to finish school, because that's dumb to be paying off stuff right now and then you have to take out more loans after that. No, you would just save up to cash flow that, so that you're actually not cash flowing it but saving up for the school instead of putting extra to debt at this time, so you can finish schooling earlier. And of course you would give serious consideration to, if you needed to stop for a year and make some more money. And so it just depends on your individual situation on that. Heading out of 3rd year, and so that's only the 3rd year. Yeah, our plan was to finish school and pay off our debt before moving out, which my in-laws. Where are you gonna move out? Where are you gonna live for that in California? Let's see what the rest of it is. Boom, boom, boom. If we move out now, we'd need a 3-bedroom apartment due to our family size. But you only rent 1 room now. Oh, I guess since it's your in-laws, I guess you have the run of the place as well, in addition to the room. All right. The average rent for that in our area is over $2,500. This would take up nearly 70% of our monthly take-home pay of $3,600, making it nearly impossible to continue aggressively paying off debt. Well, yeah, you got to move out of California. You don't have to just move out of in-laws. You got to move out of California. You can't afford it, or you need to get that income up. Additional details that might help. Oh, let's see. Other expenses include food, gas, insurance, and utilities, but we live as frugally as possible. We currently have no credit card debt. Well, that's wonderful. I'm open to working overtime or picking up a second job, but I'm already working full time. So yes, do that and sell the car. As I said, sell the car, get a beater. Our plan was to finish school in about 2 years, hoping that would increase our earning potential. Hopefully it does. Otherwise, that was pretty dumb to take out the student loans, wasn't it? So it better, so you can pay those things back. Sell the car and get a beater. So that reduces your debt. We're feeling stuck. Should we stick to our plan and try to negotiate staying longer with my in-laws? Mr. Ramsey is not a fan of adults living with mommy and daddy. Or should we move out even though it would slow our debt payoff? What would you do in our situation? Thank you for free. I would move out of if I couldn't make enough money to live there, I would move away from that state. You don't get a pass on math just because you live in California. Sorry about that. What up, Matty Bags? Vehicle hatch working now. Excellent. Flukin. Advice for newlyweds. Hi there. Hello there. Hi guys. I'm getting married in October, and my soon-to-be husband and I are wanting to live the Ramsey way, or soon-to-be husband is, and he is, and you're not. Let's see, we'd be starting on baby step 3. That's great if you don't have any debt. And we'd love to hear any tips you have all learnt. Also, any practical things. Well, I mean, if you understand it like that first guy did, then you think you're on baby step 3 just because you have more than 1,000 savings. That doesn't mean you're on baby step 3. You're on baby step 3 only if you have no debt other than a mortgage is the only debt you're allowed to have. And then you're on baby step 3 because all your non-mortgage debt would be paid off, or you never had any, which is the best case scenario. Let's see, like how have you best found setting up accounts, etc.? We're obviously gonna have a joint account. Everything should be all together, but trying to figure out a system that works well for us. And it works well for everybody if everybody can see everything and you have as few accounts as you need. I'll be being paid monthly and he'll be fortnightly. That means every 2 weeks, kids, with mine being the higher income, as he will be back studying after the wedding and hustling on the side. Thanks in advance. Congratulations, though, when you get married. Early. It's in October, so way early. But congratulations on that. But I don't see any problem with it. If the school that's happening, that needs to be cash flowed or saved for, no student loans. And so, again, if you better be on step 3, actually, instead of just thinking you're on step 3 and only thinking that because, well, I have more than $1,000 in savings, so I guess I'm on step 3. Nope. If you have non-mortgage debt, then you're on step 2, no matter how much in savings you have. And you're not going to be having that long if you're following the Ramsey advice, because you're putting everything except $1,000 on debt. Alrighty. I read this one previously. Like I said, they do switch places sometimes. Just discovered new cars are so much nicer. It's making me question my beliefs. Yeah, that's the way it goes. I've ridden in some new cars, and yeah, it has a lot of frills and things that aren't necessary, but that I'm sure are fun to have. I don't take long trips, basically, and so I don't really need that. I have my phone with me, and granted, if you have the new car, you have everything right there, and you just have to push the button on the thing, and then you can call somebody or listen to whatever you want on your phone and connect it and all that stuff, but that's not a need. So you would not put precedence on that, especially in the earlier baby steps. Scribbles_cat. Need advice sinking funds. Let's see, I posted in this group earlier. Mom of two with a stay-at-home dad. I think I read this one too, didn't I? Working on this alone. Okay, yeah, tough to do it alone. So what you need to do is compromise with the stay-at-home dad. That is always interesting. That the person that wants to do the baby steps is also the only one that's working. So you need to definitely get that straight here. Question is, when you're low income, what do? You don't buy anything else except 100% necessities, which apparently stay-at-home dad's not going to like. Do you have car, medical, education? Do you have a car? What? Car? Do you have car, medical? Oh, for sinking funds. Oh. For like, if you need tires for your car, you don't have a sinking fund for the car if something might go wrong with it. You don't have that. You're too busy paying off your debt with money instead of that. If something happens to it, then that's when you deal with it. If it's emergency, then you can use the emergency fund for it. If it's not an emergency and then something can wait, you just drive the car anyway. Education for kids, you do not save for that, so there shouldn't be any private school at that time. Also, you're not saving for their college while you still have debt. That would be a NAR, as far as non-mortgage debt. You can still have mortgage debt and save for them. That's 4, 5, and 6 all at the same time, and be investing as well. So yeah. But the problem here is that you're working on it alone. And so that's what you need to do. Instead of working on it alone, it needs to be half-assed then. So, I think I did read this, and I think I brought up Stranger Things again, where Hopper didn't want to let 11 go out because she was still in danger, and so didn't want her to go out trick-or-treating for Halloween. And so he said, let's do we'll do a compromise, and he explained compromise to her as saying halfway happy. So, and the compromise was that he would get candy and they would watch scary movies together after he got off. But of course, some Stranger Things stuff happened, and so he was in the middle of trying to investigate that Stranger Things stuff, and he ended up not being home on time. And so spoiler alert, that was season dose, I think. Yeah, season 2. How guilty should I feel about skipping baby step 5? That is, I think I read this one too. That one is, that's up to you. First, you don't do baby step 5 at all unless you have children. That's the first part of it. Second part of it is you have to want to help them. If, some people have a thing about they want their kids to do stuff on their own. And so if that's your thing, you get to make that decision as the parent. And so, there's not a how guilty should I feel, because, nobody can tell you how guilty you should feel about anything. And see, you can feel as guilty as you want. I mean, it's like, for example, if you're talking about saving for kid college, if you're still paying off step 2 debt, you wouldn't be saving for kid college. And you shouldn't feel guilty about that at all, because you're trying to get yourself in a better financial place so you can possibly help with college at some point. And so how guilty I should feel about, that you'd have to work out with a counselor if it's that bad. But you get to make all the decisions. You're the parent, so you get to do that. And so if there are other reasons, I don't think retirement age Here is 65 in New Zealand. Let's see. Well, some people work beyond. That's not the norm, right? 44. Discovered baby steps a few years ago, right? So it's taking time. Yeah. And so, oh, on baby step on 456, what Dave would do. Well, what else? Let's see what else, if anything else is going on here. Oh, my goodness gracious me. It's a book. Oh my goodness gracious me, that's too much. There we go. The too long didn't read. Thank you for doing that. Um I've been a stepmom, mum to school leavers for the last 3 years. One wants to go to college. I was baby step 7 pre-marriage. Have gotten husband through baby step 1 through 4 and working on baby step 6, but skip step 5. How guilty should I feel? You do 4, 5, and 6 all at the same time, but if the husband doesn't want to save money for his child, I mean, that would probably be a decision that both of you should make together. But especially if he doesn't want to do it, I don't see why you should feel guilty on that. Husband is less than a decade from retirement and is not a Dave Ramsey follower, right? And that's what you said while you're doing it alone. Yeah, so it's hard to do. Or no, this person isn't doing it alone, right? No, that was the other person that was doing it alone. Yeah, you really can't do it. So you have to do a halfway happy thing. It's a compromise where both of you are halfway happy. That means he meets you halfway and you meet him halfway. And so neither of you are happy, but you're halfway happy. Not fully happy, but halfway. What up, Simply? That was only, what, 7 minutes ago. Maybe she's still here. How to remove myself, as I did this one too. You probably have to get them to close the card. I don't know. But I think this one said they opened the card in this person's name. So that's not how that works. You have to, it's in your name. You can close the card, so you close the card. And you file, if they opened it up without your permission, you need to file a police report on them, and that way it doesn't get traced to you. But since it's opened in your name, you are responsible for paying that off. So you need to press charges against whoever did that, even if it's a family member. They should not have done that. And you don't have any obligation to them to cover up their crime. Where to save cash? Okay, some debt-free, including home. Great. Step 7 is fabulous. A bank, I would think. Save up roughly $30K a year on top of 401K. I'd like another rental property, but with prices, they keep jumping out of reach. Currently, I've been just doing short-term CDs and other higher interest accounts. Yeah, high yield savings account if you're going to want the money in less than 5 years. If you've got 5 years, then it's much less of a chance that it'll be down right when you want to do it, right when you want to have access to the money. So that would be just a high yield savings account. And that's better than the CD because then you don't get a penalty for taking it out. Oh, that's right. In case any of you did not hear the Ramsey show today, Dave said he's doing it wrong. And so I'll be clipping that, of course, and adding that to my collection of clips. And here's George.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
And there we go. And then, of course, I didn't make that up. Of course. I stole it from Mr. Mom.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah. He was doing it wrong, for sure. Where we at? Oh, I finished that. About, yeah. So yeah, no bonds. Bonds aren't recommended. Um, Worried about a crash, right? Which is why you don't do that. So high yield savings account would be the one, my friend. Or again, 5+ years is fine. Display necessary, 52.96 cash or debit card. Do you do cash envelopes or envelopes, as some people say, or use your debit card for purchases and track your spending? I've done both ways and like things about each method. Oh, but curious to see what others do. I think I read this one before, and yeah, if you use your debit card, you've got a nice list on the bank website of all of your spending, and it's easier to track and to see what you shouldn't have bought and all that kind of stuff. Rather than using cash, you know the amount based on the amount of cash left in the envelope, or if there's none, you spend it all, but you don't have a line item like well, you still wouldn't have a line item. You need the receipt for that. But as far as for the different store it was spent at, and that might help you because you know what you bought at each store, perhaps. No syrup 3653. How to deal with financial trauma? Probably might need some counseling. In my 20s, was essentially homeless for a year. In my 30s, filed bankruptcy due to financial infidelity from my partner. That's not a fun time for this person at all. Obtained a nursing degree at 40, divorced at 52. My goodness. Make 112,000 yearly. Okay, so you could live in California probably. No debt beyond my mortgage. 2,000 with escrow and insurance. 3.75 interest. How about 150,000 in equity? 300,000 still owed and about 24 years left. So you shouldn't have the mortgage, but you just pay it off faster. Contribute 25%. That's too much while you still have the mortgage. You would only be doing 15% to retirement. 20,000 emergency fund. This is where I start to panic. I have about 150,000 in IRA, 401k. Hope I can make to full retirement age, but nurses sometimes have a hard time making it that far due to the physical and emotional health. Because of this, I still act like I am a minute from homeless with anxiety. No, I could see. No, I mean, really, I don't understand because I haven't been in that situation, but I can easily see how that kind of thing, you would never get over that. Maybe with counseling, you can find some way to like deal with it and, accept it for what it is and embrace it and say, no, I mean, look at these numbers. Look at these numbers of all the money that I have, all the assets that I have, the equity in my house, all the emergency fund, all the savings, and I'm going to pay the house off, and then I won't have any debt at all. And so that you need to use those numbers to help your financial trauma. Let's see if there's anything else. I know I'm ahead of some on retirement. You're ahead of most people probably. Well, maybe not most people on retirement itself, but like overall, and especially from being homeless, and then in 20s and 30s, financial infidelity from partner. From where you've come from, I would say you're doing great. And so, and you need to give yourself grace on that and celebrate yourself for getting to where you are. But you're doing it wrong. So you would not have the extra savings or extra investing until the house was paid off. Once the house is paid off, then you can invest 50% of your income if you want, whatever amount you want. Boom. Feel like every dollar I spend extra is making it so that I will end up dead on the Walmart floor. Looking for objective opinion. Am I screwed? Should I try to let it go? Yeah, I mean, if you can, that's not easily said. It would, if you could easily let it go, it wouldn't be called trauma. So that's a different thing. So, you need to do the best you can with it. And you're okay, 57. So yeah, you don't have like forever. But I mean, you still have a good 10 years in the market still. And so if you hurry up and pay off the, how much is left on the house? Where was it? Oh, 300,000. If you're living by yourself, maybe you don't need that big of a house, and maybe you move down in house and you fix that all at the same time. So you could fix both problems. You would get out of the mortgage debt. And so just see how much, 150,000 equity. Now, depending, you're not going to get a house in, California for that, but maybe if you're in Ohio, you can get a $150,000 house. And if it's just you, you don't need anything big. So that's something I would think about there. And then you immediately have that mortgage payment available for more retirement savings. So yeah, you doing it wrong at 25% there to the investing. Should only be 15% while you pay off that mortgage. But like I said, I think it would be better for you to get rid of that mortgage. You do not need that big of a house if you are all by yourself. Doesn't say anything about any children's. So, you know, so that's a $450,000 house. How many rooms does that have, and how many rooms do you need to be in? So that's what I would advise this person. But yeah, the trauma from that, I would imagine, is no joke at all. You know what you're supposed to do after you play the clip, Steve? You need to switch back to the chat so you can see it. Yes, and Simply was still here at 10 minutes ago. She was anyway. Question about recasting mortgage. Generally, that's going to be a NAR. Flying Westminster, Flying Minsterian. Like Canadian, but Minsterian. Okay, well. Start with well. Why do you start a sentence with well? Like you're a toddler. Well, our family has grown and we need, I might have read this as well, maybe. And we need more space. As much as I love being debt-free, I think we are looking to move into a bigger house, which will require a mortgage for a time. Hopefully less than 5 years. Again, you're going to have to convince me of that. I'm not buying it. People love to say they need it and they just want it. What is the problem with what you have now? You think it's not enough space? I'm going to need more details than that. Our plan is to, let's go ahead and open it up. Our plan is to get the new home on a 15-year conventional mortgage and then recast it following the sale of the old home. No, you can do both at the same time. You do both at the same time. I don't know why people are confused about this. So, people might be thinking, well, I got to have time to pack and move. Yeah, you can build that in. You can sell your house and say, yeah, I'm not going to be out for, 15 days, for 2 weeks after that, or even a month after that. It's whatever the, you can put whatever terms you want on it. Buyer may not accept it, but if you want it and the buyer agrees to it, then that's put in writing, and then that's the way it is. So you don't need to do any dumb crap like getting a 15-year mortgage while you and then you still have two mortgages, and then you sell the house. That's a no. Still planning to pay it off aggressively. Great. Like security, having a lower minimum monthly payment in case anything ever happens. But there wouldn't be anything that would happen. What would happen? But here's my question. Anyway, we pay additional principal prior to, if we pay to recasting. Again, you're not getting a mortgage. Hopefully. I mean, you said maybe you might need in less than 5 years. So maybe it'd be less than 5 years of payments of the amount you're upgrading. And so you're going to first still have to convince me that you need to do this. And if you don't need to do this, it's just a want, and that's basically toy level. So you have to pay for all of that in cash. So there's no loans for that. So we're not gonna, we're not gonna recast. Does it re-amortize to mature on the loan's original maturity date, or does it re-amortize? I think it's like a whole new thing, I believe, when you recast. So I can't answer this question. But that's what I think. I think it just is basically like a brand new mortgage. Not additional principal payments affect a subsequent recast. Well, you would still be starting with the amount owed, and additional principal reduces the amount owed. So you would still be starting with that. I've never recasted I think recast doesn't need the ED on it to be past tense. But I've never recast a mortgage either, so I do not know. 29, that's too many comments to go through to try to find out. If I remember, I'll look that up. I'll write it down right now. Recast mortgage. Okay. Second job from Timex underscore dude 755. Looking for a market pulse. What? I am strongly considering a second job. Walmart, Home Depot, sure. Just stock shelves, sure. I did that as a second job for 5 years. I'm not a CPA, so I cannot pick up additional accounting work. Okay. Third kid expected in August, and the little Corolla might not be able to seat all 3 kids. Really? Really? They do make a middle seat belt, for a reason. So that's a no on that. You don't need it. No. My oldest will be ready for a booster before the third is born. That's great. All that can still fit in the back seat. Now, granted, I only had 2 kids, but they could both fit in the compact car. But yeah, you can certainly get a second job. For sure. And I don't know what one has to do with the other, or if that means if you are getting a second job specifically for saving up for a different car. And, it's your life and your money, but the idea is not to constantly be upgrading stuff, like upgrading houses like the last people, and because they need extra room. That's so subjective. And you might think you need this new vehicle that has a multiples, rows of seats, like an SUV or something, or a school bus. You can buy a used school bus or something like that, and maybe that'll be enough seats for you. But yeah, people just go overboard for the babies, and of course they always want to do something, and especially if it's a deal where the person is a vehicle person and just would like to have a newer vehicle, and then you know, without even realizing it, sometimes you might be using the kid as an excuse, the kids. And of course the new one doesn't miss a beat. Doesn't miss a beat. Doesn't miss a beat. So go goes. Baby step 2, momentum. Sat down with the wife. You can do it standing up. Last night to talk money. Been on baby step 2 for a while, but hadn't fully committed. Well, that's why you've been on it for a while, and it's not done already yet. We had several potential expenses in the coming months that we set aside some money towards. Realize that's not where our priorities should be. Congratulations on that. Went to the bank this morning and wrote a check for the entire E of what remained on my car. $24,000. So you saved $24,000 for some other crap instead of paying off your debt. That is dumb as crap. I mean, I get it if it's a sinking fund, again, for tires or something like that, or something that you thought was coming up. But, you know, the potential expenses is that fun stuff while you have debt. That's a no. But anyway, 2 fully paid for cars now. All right. And I mean, you know, like that much owed on a car, that's, you know, that's when you got to think about selling it as well. And you can still do that even though it's paid off now. You can still do that and move down in vehicle. Student loans will be a struggle, but the momentum is high after that. Yeah, and it will go faster if you sell that car for, you know, whatever, $20,000, and you get a $5,000 car, then you can put $15,000 to your freaking student loan. People are nutty. People are nutty. And of course, you know, that's not going to occur to most people. They're not even going to think about that. They're going to think about, I paid it off. I get to keep my car. And you certainly can. You can do whatever you want to, but that's going to keep you on baby step 2 even longer if you don't do that. What baby step am I actually on, and what are my next steps? Did I read this one? For context, I'm a huge Dave Ramsey fan. I've been listening to him since I was 10. Did I read that? My mom was very determined to be debt-free. She is now, and just bought a new car in cash. I'm currently 20 and just started my first full-time job about 6 months ago. Have 3 to 6 months emergency fund as well as no debt. Fabulous. However, the next steps 4 through 5 don't really apply to my current situation. Step 4 does. Oh, no, I'm saving to buy a house right now. Okay, you don't have to invest for 2 years. Congratulations. Just, you can put all of that to there, or you can do a combination of saving some to buy the house and some of your extra money you can invest, like up to the company match if there is one. But you can not do any for 2 years. It's fine. Is that the best use of my savings, or should I focus on saving for retirement? No, if you want to save up a larger down payment faster, you can choose that to be priority over retirement. So the problem is you can't go full steam ahead on both of them at the same time. Please advise how I should be using my savings to best keep me on track to reach step 7. What savings? So the 3 to 6 month emergency fund stays that way forever. That doesn't come part of the down payment. And so when you're talking about how should I be using my savings, if you mean that down payment, you've been saving for a down payment, that's what it's for. And so the Ramsey advice is all about intention with your money, and you're intending for it to be that. And so you can have it be that without putting money into retirement, again, for up to 2 years, while you save a larger down payment faster. Or you can do any balance between investing and saving down payment that you want to. And take advantage of that, because that's the only time where Dave doesn't tell you the exact number or percentage to do. So you're welcome. So enjoy that. Don't get used to it though, because every other place he tells you exactly an amount or the percentage. Sad Caterpillar 1580. Debt consolidation or sell a house. Why does it have to be either? People are nutty. They paint themselves into corners and they say, well, the only way this situation can resolve is A or B. And people always call up Dave like that, and he normally has at least one extra option, if not two. So let's see. Own 2 investments, properties, equity is about 100K in one, and about 230 in the other. These properties have solid renters and pay for justification station for doing it wrong here. Plus bring in about 800 a month. That's great. We had one, yesterday or 2 days ago? Somebody was making 150 a month on that. Not worth. I also have a total about 332K in credit card debt. Okay, so no, you're not doing that. You're selling both of them if you have to pay off all of your credit card debt and any other debt, car debt, or whatever that has come from the past 20 months. Are you following Dave Ramsey's advice? Moved across the country for husband to go to medical school, bought a house, including large appliances. That was dumb as crap. Lady. Had a baby and relaunched my business in a new area. I'm a professional mortgage lender. I earn commission. The industry has been slow, and moving slowed me down too. Yeah. I'm trying to decide whether to sell one of the properties to pay off debt and rebuild reserves, or do a debt. No, there's no moving it around. That debt consolidation is just moving around, and it costs money, so it puts you more in debt, even if it's 0% promo interest rate. If we sell the property, we'd also have to pay taxes on it, so it would cost quite a bit to sell. No, it wouldn't, because you have equity in it, and the equity will pay for that. So, the people, I love the people that think, oh, well, I have this much equity in it, so that's mine. Oh, and so if I have to pay taxes on that, I shouldn't sell the house. That's dumb as crap, lady. So yeah, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do debt leverage on top of debt leverage by doing a HELOC. That's even dumber as crap. I don't have enough equity in my primary residence, and the interest rates to do it on the investment property is to size the cars after the fees are considered. Right, you're not doing a HELOC. You are selling rental property to get your personal finances in order. And then if you want to, after you get your personal finances straight, and then if you want to have a rental property, you save for it and buy it all in cash. No mortgages on rental property. I just hate paying the interest on the cards. Well, why'd you take them out then? Why'd you do all this stuff that's dumb as crap? Why did you do that then? If you hate paying the interest on the cards, you use them. You didn't know you were going to hate paying the interest on it? Dumb. Try not to be dumb is the general advice. We'll do this one. Scuba trucker, I want to pay off my Peterbilt truck, but I like big butts and I cannot lie. It's a 2025 Peterbilt 589. I bet that's a ton of cash, dude. I bought it in August. I'm a one trucking company pulling tanker, okay? All right. Okay, so you own it and you're a trucker. Great. Hope you're making a lot of money on it. The truck is my only debt. Yeah, the house has been paid for years. Great. 2 personal vehicles paid off. Great. I was debt free before I bought the new truck, right? Which means you shouldn't have bought the truck except in cash. And I sold my old Peterbilt last year. I owe about 139K on the Peterbilt with about 156K in business checking. I hate debt, but having only 17K in the bank makes me a little nervous, even though without the 2,587 right truck payment each month, I can build up cash quickly. Right. So are we considering that money in the bank? Are we considering that business account, and is that business and personal? Because that's easy. If it's just that's your business account for the bank and you have a 17,000 in it, that means you don't do any business that causes you to have to spend more than $17,000. Now, if you're just using one account to do everything, then that's as dumb as crap if you have a lot of expenses. But yeah, you can build that up very quickly with $2,500 a month. Yes, you can. On a good month, I'm grossing about $20,000, but I need to stay gone on the road all month to do that. Also, I've noticed the cost of diesel is starting to creep down a bit. Okay. What does Dave Ramsey community think? Well, this Dave Ramsey certified. Ramsey Solutions certified. He didn't do it personally. But the Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach says that you should pay it off. Because, I mean, by using debt there, the problem is you use the debt. And that's business debt. And so basically that's step 2. So you're on step 2. And so you really should only have 1K in savings. And so, yeah, you would take that out and sell it. Or you would take that out of there and pay that off. Fun times. Easy answer. Alrighty. Once again, Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. You're watching this on youtube.com/CoachSteveMoney. And again, just scroll down past the Oak Island playlist, and let's see if that went over 1.3. Yeah, 1.4K now. Excellent. Hours. Or views, rather, excuse me. The Ramsey Show, Aftershow show, and answering your financial questions playlists. Again, I have about 800 hours of me telling people they're doing it wrong. And just talking about it, finances in general, answering these questions. And the music playlist, 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. And if you have money problems, or you just want to, kind of make sure you're on the right track, what you can do is you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. You can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com about financial stuff or anything on my YouTube channel or anything else on your mind. Email away. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, the CashApp at $CoachSteveMoney. Alternatively, again, at Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, that would be until further notice, Monday through Friday, 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time, right when the Ramsey Show goes off of YouTube. That's when I start this stream. All right, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.